Yeah, include my audio, so the viewers should be hearing my voice as well.
Excellent.
What's your expectations here tonight, Kinsey?
I'm expecting at least one or two drivers to have a front wing change on the first lap.
Expect a lot of crashing. Carnage.
Yep.
So it looks like Caesar is looking for some guys to join. There's only 10 guys in the lobby. That's including us, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's looking for drivers from the main Talk the Devil League to try and boost the numbers for tonight.
Well, I told him I would, but I'm commentating. I hope the lobby is full though.
Yeah, we've still got a few minutes before we
What's the time now?
get the race.
No, it's 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Not so bad. It's sad that Ivan couldn't make it tonight though.
Yeah. I think he said something along the lines of possibly running late this evening.
Yeah, he's a bit stuck at work. So not sure what's going to be happening there. Kinsey, this might come to a surprise to yourself and some of the viewers. Caesar just sent me a personal message asking me, or telling me it would be nice if I could commentate and race. I'm not sure if you up for that.
Ooh, that's a bit of a tall order.
Yeah, because then I'll obviously just be commentating from my point in the race and not from the spectating point, right?
Yeah, well, I'll say the thing with that is if I ended up going for that offer of racing and commentating at the same time, my race pace isn't that great.
Yeah, but seeing this is Monaco, I don't think there's going to be any chance of the grid finishing. I think this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, very little room for error.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm going to last that long with these oaks. Not to say that they're dirty drivers, but this is Monaco, and 99% of the time, if you don't start in front or at the back and you're in the middle of the pack, the chances are that you can either damage your DNF is quite high.
Yep.
How funny would that be if you should see David Croft in a Formula 1 car, there in a Force India in 8th or 7th place, and he's commentating live on the team radio to everyone watching Sky Sports or whatever.
That would be hilarious.
Imagine David Croft, doing that. Imagine that, Kinsey. Or even
it would definitely be one of the more unique commentating experiences we'll have seen.
I think it will be the last one, because then we'll have a tribute to him, not racing ever again, but spectating only. It would be a one-time event for him. Yeah. I wonder if I should take the chance and do it. See how long I last, and then if I DNF, I just get on with the commentating. You are the main commentator, so it's up to you. If you think I shouldn't do it, it's not good for the viewers, then obviously I won't. But I'm up for the challenge, obviously.
Well,
always up for the challenge.
If you manage to play your cards right with Caesar, he might be convinced into letting you race tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm still a reserve, and I respect the position I am. I understand the position I am as a reserve for tomorrow. So I'm not pushing anything there for a permanent seat or to replace anyone unnecessarily. And like I said last time as well, that's a big stepping stone to become part of a very, very big thing and a very successful league. So I'm very grateful for that, and I appreciate the opportunity equally as much. But no, this would purely be if I should decide to do this, and it flies by you, and you think it would be great for, obviously, for the league and for the channel, then I would take up the challenge. But I won't do it for any other reason as for entertainment. This is not for me to see if I can win. This would be for, as they say, practice and maybe some entertainment for the viewers as well.
I think if it were up to me, I'd probably stick with just commentating for this evening.
All right. Then so shall it be. Kenzie, as you said that my F1 on Xbox just decided to freeze. I'm just going to restart the game quick.
Right.
There's always seeming like to be a little bit of a gremlin peeking out when F1 needs to start up.
That's never ideal when that happens.
Okay, let's see. Game has started up again. Okay, let's see. Kenzie, I'm still going to try to join on your name. Or even Caesar's name. Whoever pops up first. Right, I'm back in it. So Kenzie, this is now the Elite League um, that Callum wants to start off from the ground. Can you just take us um, through the setup of this and through the dynamics and the mechanics of the Elite League?
Well, the Elite League, and this will be useful for the viewers at home as well. The Elite League, this is where you've got the cream of the crop essentially from the Talk of the Devil League, and we've also got some newcomers in that have got great pace, very disciplined on the track, and just great drivers all round.
All right. And this will also be something that you would earn your spot for, not necessarily just join from the ground up.
Well, the idea is that the champion of the main Talk of the Devil League would have the option of joining the Elite League for the following season, and the driver that finishes at the bottom of the table in the Elite League would end up going down to the main Talk of the Devil League itself for the following season.
Okay. Oh, that's quite interesting, and I think that would that's a separate challenge now again, to actually be standing out from the rest, to be able to go over to the elite.
Yeah, like I said, to be able to have a slot in the Elite League, you've got to be up there among the very best.
Yeah, I know for sure.
So yeah, I'm just looking at the list of drivers that we have. A lot of them are regulars for this league, the Talk of the Devil League, and some of them are newcomers as well.
Dougal 633 is also not a familiar gamer tag there.
Yeah, that's Andrew McDougall. He's one of the newcomers. We've also got representation from Spain and Germany this evening. Hubert Morillo and Adrian Solomon. Hubert from Spain and Adrian from Germany.
Alright. Seek and Destroy, is that also a new 6818? Is that also a new person?
Oh no, that's Luke from the main league.
Oh, alright. Is this a different account, or has that been his gamer tag ever since?
I believe it's been his gamer tag since he started racing as a reserve driver last season.
Okay. It looked like Caesar is still a bit struggling for some more drivers. Yeah.
We've got 14 drivers. Everyone's starting to ready up now. He's turned it down to short qualifying, but it will still be a 100% race.
The damage is off.
And ghosting is on as well, apparently.
Wow. So you'll be able to drive through another car on the overtake.
So,
no
yeah, I think this
collisions
is going to be. I think this will be a case of. With the ghosting, it will just be a case of just showing raw pace from the drivers, by the looks of it.
Seems that way, yeah. Seems as
we've got Michael in as well. Michael.
Oh yes.
That's us now up to 15.
Well, this ought to be interesting.
Yeah. I've also noticed as well that you're not spectating as well, Willem.
Oh,
I've just noticed you're not spectating.
Oh, yes. I should tick that box. There, it shows now. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
And here we go. We are now rating up. Oh, and we just managed to get a last-minute addition in now. Beard boost. That's Chris Harley.
Did you watch the qualifying this afternoon, Kenzie?
Oh my word! What was all
Have you
that
seen
about
the
at the end of
last
qualifying?
2 minutes?
I said, what was all that about?
Hulkenberg got trouble there. If I read that article correctly.
But nevertheless, here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fraser McKenzie here, one of the main commentators for the Talk of the Devil Racing League, and as of tonight, the main commentator for the Talk of the Devil Elite League. And with me this evening is one of the commentators for the Talk of the Devil main league. It's Willem Mare. Willem, welcome along this evening.
Oh, thank you very much, Kenzie. Welcome to the viewers. It's Monaco.
Yes, we were talking about this over the last couple of weeks, and now tonight, it is a reality.
It came true, but unfortunately, viewers, there isn't any damage on. So we won't be seeing drivers flying out of the cars into the casino, or swimming in swimming pool section, or even getting into a bus in the bus stop. So, but this will ought to be a very interesting race.
And Anthony Waddington already with a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Luke.
We're starting off on the right foot, isn't it?
That's a good start. Collisions are on.
Yes, but closely as well. So I think what would happen here, Kenzie, is should you come up to an incident with another car, that car will go for you. That wasn't part of it.
That's probably the case.
Yeah. So we won't be stuck behind the pylon. We'll probably be able to drive through. So let's see if that is the case. I must say there's some nice liveries on these guys' cars, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I love about these multiplayer cars. You get to see the multiplayer liveries in action.
And we've got our first disconnection. Job review.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, this is one of those tracks for Formula 1 fans and for Formula 1 drivers that everyone looks forward to every season, because with the drivers, it's the race everyone wants to win, but only a select few can say that they have won at Monaco.
Yeah, and as much of it is on luck, decision whether you win this or not, it's also about with pure talent, because getting around this track safely and quickly at the same time is not your everyday practice. So You need to be a bit lucky not to be part of the incident here, so you need to know what you're doing, because getting around this track is not easy.
Yeah, I'm just with Luke right now. He took it very quickly through the swimming pool section. Coming down the main straight now, across the line. What's his time going to be? 1:14.2, not the best, but it's the early days in this part of qualifying. But this is the only part of qualifying we're going to have this evening. This will determine the order of the grid, and it will also determine what tyres you start on throughout the race. It will still be a 100% race, and we're going to get the full 78 laps.
That's really nice. Beer boost about 12.8. Anthony Wellington at the moment on top of the loss with a 110.9.
The only man to get under the 111s at the moment. I'm noticing a lot of the drivers are scraping the barriers. But of course, with damage turned off, they don't have to worry about damage to their parts or worst case scenario, the tyres. So we just saw Hubert there across the line, goes second at the moment with a 1:11.782.
Garrett and Caesar also still needs to go, and I suspect Caesar also to be in the top 5, stealing his time in the other night in practice as well. So you ought to see him somewhere there at the top as well.
Yeah, that would not surprise me, but I'm with Hazelwood right now, where his livery looks very similar to that of him driving in the Toro Rosso, but I'm on board with him right now, through Massenet, then round to Casino Square, heading down to the Mirabeau. A tight right-hander, slow about 50 miles an hour there. Slowest corner on the circuit now, when what's known as the lowest hairpin. It's its current name is the Grand Hotel. Hairpin there, coming around to 48 now and through the tunnel. One of only a couple of sections on the track where you can just go flat out on the throttle. The other section, of course, being the main straight. Heading round to Nouvelle Chicane. The very fast approach does slow down quite a lot. Round the left-hander of the back, through the swimming pool section. Coming up to Rascasse now, and the last corner, Anthony Nogues, the man who actually had the vision of street racing in motorsport. And here we are all those years later.
Actually doing it.
Indeed, Hazelwood currently 8th on a 1:14.055.
And as we respected him, Caesar, number 3 with the 1:11.6.
So I'm just looking at Jarbe Lou livery right now. That livery he's got, it is outstanding.
Yeah.
I'd say predominantly red and yellow for his home country of China, of course.
That does look spectacular.
Yeah, there's like I say, the predominantly red and yellow livery for his home country of China, but he lives in London, and he's had a couple of good performances this season, especially the Extreme 1, I believe at the start of the season just a few weeks ago, battling Ivan for the win, and ended up having to take second place because of the time penalty received early on in the race. But that battle was a classic. Definitely up there as one of the highlights of the season. Jarbe Lou, he goes 5th. That's a great time from him. 1:11.7.
Yeah, the sector 2 looked a bit scruffy. It looked a bit as if he was struggling for the grip, it seemed. But it does look like he's going for the second run though, eh?
Yeah, he would have been taking the time to. It's one of those cases of having the tyres trying to get up to temperature. So you would definitely need at least a couple of laps to get them fully up to temperature if you wanted to.
Yeah, the track Monaco is not one of those that you struggle to get your tires up to temperature because there's so many corners there. The tires keep the temperature. The key here is the right tire pressures so that the tires don't overheat.
And that's why, with regards to the tyre compounds this weekend, it's the 3 softest tyre compounds we have: the C5, the C4, and the C3.
I'm here with Guillaume, 6W3. He's going for another run at this. He's here at color scheme.
That is very interesting. But I'm with Michael Handel right now. Is the only driver yet to set a lap time. He's definitely got a very he's got a sort of smooth transition livery, if that makes sense. It starts off as sky blue at the front, and then it just gradually transitions to purple as you head towards the back of the car.
That looks pretty nice. Looks like some sort of a zebra tiger type scheme livery there.
That's probably what he's gone for. And looks like his lap time. It looks like his lap time didn't count, so he's going for another run. One of the onboard shots I have of him. It looks like he's wearing the gloves that represent that were part of the Legends edition of this game. The gloves of 4-time world champion Alan Prost.
It does seem like, yeah. The red, blue, and white.
Indeed.
It's so easy to validate your lap, especially in that corner, and then coming up to the swimming pool section. You also very easily validate your lap there.
He looked a lot smoother through the second section, especially through the Nouvelle Chicane and the swimming pool section. Coming down the main straight now. He's definitely looking quick, and he goes fastest out of nowhere. 1:10.7. Only a couple of tenths quicker than Wellington. That is a quick time.
I think his livery is that of a tiger, because that was a monstrous lap.
Yes, he just pounced on that lap like it was his prey from out of nowhere. And there you go. So
indeed.
So the order for the grid as it stands is Michael Handel on provisional pole, Waddington second, Harley third, Hubert fourth, Jamie fifth, Kyle Keegan sixth, Caesar seventh, Jarbelu eighth, Solomon in ninth, Hazelwood 10th, then you've got McDougall, Joe Newman, Luke, Gareth, and Thomas Edwards at the back of the grid.
I'm with Thomas Edwards' car right now, and that's predominantly red. So we have something like a Mercedes representative livery, and then we've got this Ferrari reddish car also in the track. So it does seem like some of the drivers in the game wants to go for that representation of the actual car on the livery side.
That is a very interesting approach for some of the drivers. And that's the great thing about the multiplayer liveries. You get to see the creativity of those liveries in action.
What I would like to see in the next version of F1 the game is they make it a complete customizable livery. You know, to put your own, your complete own into the car. I would love to see that. This is a nice step forward. you know, you own the multiplayer car as a driver in the game, but it's not completely yours because it's pre-designed. It's something that you earn with, you know, currency points, competition points in the game, by competing in multiplayer lobbies, etc., weekly events, and then you can purchase these liveries. Some of them starting at 2,500 competition points, going all the way up to 8,000, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can customize the colors. What I would like the game to do is make this completely customizable, you know, for the drivers in the next one.
Yeah, that would definitely be a great step forward. Being able to, in a way, showcase your personality with the livery that you have designed.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, for now, this is a good start. No complaints to Codemasters for what they've done. I think this is a great step forward for the game. I think it will attract a lot of people to actually buy the game if they haven't already. But this was one of the top talking points pre-launch for the game. Everyone wanted to know what you can do with the livery. But I think what's short is they still want to do everything themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll definitely be able to do that with if not next year.
That's the thing.
Yeah, of course. If not next year's game, definitely F1 2021.
Yeah. I also suspect so. But this was a bit of a short notice development from Codemasters. If I don't have all the topics, you know, if I haven't misunderstood them. But I think now that they have more time and they can see the feedback from this perspective of the game, I think they will definitely go for. They will do even further develop it and put the coding in so that drivers and gamers and casual players can actually do their own different cars. But they have done an exceptionally great job making this cost equal, because this is essentially, if I'm not mistaken, a McLaren car based on the McLaren.
That is
something I heard the other
interesting.
night. I've heard this the other night in an online lobby, Kenny, when I was just playing around in the game a bit on rent. And one of the drivers in there, a very good driver, mentioned that the multiplayer car is based on the McLaren. So I'm not 100% sure if that's true. If the viewers can correct us on that in the chat, that would be awesome. But that's what one of the drivers actually told me in the rainforest. So that was a shock to me. Not that I'm disappointed that it's a McLaren, but I thought they would have, mixed it with the Ferrari and the Mercedes type of performance. And they just
that is
off. I'm not sure who's in the purple car, but fresh penguin. I can't get to his name.
That was Thomas Edwards. That was
Edwards and the purple car. Gareth. They collided.
My goodness me.
That could have been a DNF.
Yeah, that's if collisions were on. But we've got just under a minute to go. We've got about roughly half the field on track right now. Michael Handel still on provisional pole. Waddington still in second. He is going for a lap to potentially spoil Handel's party.
Looks like he's going for a second run, yeah?
Yeah, he's only a couple of tenths shy of Handel's time. You can see the square very smooth. Yeah, he's almost a couple of tenths up. He's almost got the time he needs. Around the lower cap hinges. Got to be careful there. There we go. Cool as you like. Round to 48. And then flat out through the tunnel. Handel not able to improve on his time. Neither was Chris Harley, but he was in the pits. Wellington's just got to keep it consistent now through this second half of the lap, and he's almost half a second up. Half a second up. He could take pole position here. Down the final corner, DRS wide open. What's the time gonna be? Just shy of the 1:09. He's half a second ahead on provisional pole for now. Jarbelu coming through now. And he goes third of 1:10.8. Hubert not able to improve on his lap time. So Waddington, right at the end, has just taken pole position.
Yeah, and that was done with almost no ERS at the end though. Remember now, if your ERS goes below 25%, you don't get the full potential of your ERS. So, hats off to Anthony Waddington to be able to pull that lap. He certainly has a lot of experience on this by looking at that time.
Absolutely. So here we go. But it turns out, hang on a second. Turns out Waddington and Michael Handel have grid penalties. So it's going to be Jarbelu that starts on pole position.
Oh my word.
How's about that? Caesar will start second. Chris Hartley will start third. Then it'll be Hubert and Jamie. Then it'll be Waddington and Michael. Then Kyle and Adrian, Adrian and Hazelwood rounding up the top 10.
So Anthony will be starting on 6th place and 7th following Michael Handel.
Now here we go. It is race day. We finally get to race here at the Talk of the Devil League. It's the Elite League practice race here on the streets of Monte Carlo. Such a legendary circuit. The world famous casino in Monte Carlo at Casino Square opened in 1863. Through land reclamation, Monaco's landmass has expanded by roughly 20%. And a couple of other interesting facts regarding the track. It's the only track in the calendar that doesn't have a race distance of 305 kilometers. And I did the calculations earlier today. If they did do 305 kilometers on this track, they would end up doing 92 laps instead of the 78. And it looks like one of the drivers has readied up already. And we've got other drivers readying up as well.
I didn't expect them to do that, you know, with the rule of the 5-minute break. I suspect this is a practice race. They didn't take that as serious as normal.
Nevertheless, we are underway. It is race time here at Monaco. Jarbelu, great start. Caesar already up into second place. Hubert up into third. Caesar almost alongside Jarbelu, heading round the Matinee through to Casino Square already. A few drivers not getting a good start there. And that is a shame. That was Solomon for a collision. There, and someone's gone into the back already. Waddington and Solomon were the biggest droppers off the start. Jarbelu, meanwhile, keeping Caesar behind him, doing very well to do that. And
It seemed like we had a clean first lap. Not as expected, but hopeful.
Okay, it looks like we've got a glitch here. It looks like Luke is showing up in the lead, but is actually in the pace. it looks like he's not going to be making any. Looks like he's not going to be taking any further part in the race. That is a real shame. He did okay in qualifying. Nothing spectacular. But nevertheless, Jarbailu leads, Caesar second, Sugar third, Jamie fourth, Harley fifth, Cheaton sixth, Handel seventh, Hazelwood eighth, Edwards ninth, and Newman rounding up the top 10.
This has been to my surprise, one of the cleanest starts in Monaco I've ever seen. Probably because conditions is off, so we won't know about the incidents that occurringly, but it's one of the cleanest starts.
Yeah, definitely one of the cleanest starts that we've seen around in these league races. So we don't have to worry about any front wing changes for this race anyway. We might end up having a few in tomorrow's race, the Extreme 1 League. We've got Newman out with a point to prove. He was promoted from reserve driver to a full-time seat at Toro Rosso during the transfer window over the course of the past week. And the two biggest transfers for me were Dino Harrison, Stephen's brother, from Red Bull to Mercedes, taking Callum's seat, and Callum is now at McLaren.
It's that was good to see on the transfer windows, and I expect the guys is really happy about it because it's something they've worked for.
Looks like we've got a 5-car train by the looks of it, battling for third place. It's Jamie, and we got, and it looks like Chris Harley. Chris Harley has managed to get himself up to fourth. He's one of the fastest out of the race so far. It's early days. That 5-car train came to an end very abruptly. Keegan with time for corner cutting at Saint-Devot.
Yeah, I just wanted to say these guys are aggressive tonight because there isn't any space for overtaking. So I guess we will be gambling taking the 3-second penalty because he will make up all their time. Maybe that's the argument, but again into a collision there. Sort of a build up to that. This is one of those races. In the meantime, Caesar is on Jarbailu's gearbox.
He's less than half a second. He's less than half a second behind him. He's doing very well to keep in slipstream. He's going to have DRS heading round to heading down to Saint-Devot. It's the only DRS zone on the track.
Yeah, just to remind everyone again, this track is not easy, not at all. It's probably the most difficult track to do, following on. It's extremely difficult to follow on this track.
Yeah, it's also a very difficult track to overtake on, but not impossible. And I mentioned Saint-Devot, Hamilton getting past Michael Schumacher back in 2011. Here we are at the Grand Hotel hairpin. It was known as the lowest hairpin a few years back. The race start, Della Rosa having a spin and ended up causing a major traffic jam. We're heading up to the Nouvelle chicane now. Verstappen with a brave overtake on Carlos Sainz last year as well. So Monaco is also the shortest track on the calendar at just over 2 miles long, 2.07 to be exact. 19 corners here, 8 to the left, 11 to the right. And I mentioned during qualifying it's the 3 softest tyre compounds we have for this race. It's the softs, the C5, the mediums, the C4, and the hards, the C3. C3, roughly a second slower than the soft tyres, so it would be worth your while trying to push on the hard tyres if you can. If you've got the race pace, by all means go for it.
Everything on Monaco is difficult. Everything on Monaco is difficult. You know, you need position. Position is key on Monaco. So if you've got position, you can start playing around with tyre choice and race pace, because you can lead Monaco with no front wing at all and still win. That's how difficult Monaco is. So position on Monaco is everything. You've got open book. You can play with tyres, you can play with strategy, you can play with all of those things. But if you're not first and you bucket up here in the midfield, then you need to be careful what you're doing.
Indeed, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. And Caesar, right alongside Jarbelu round Saint-Devant, but Jarbelu shuts the door on him. That was a great attempt from Caesar around the outside of Saint-Devant, but Jarbelu was having none of it.
That was exceptional, defending skills there by Jarbelu, and I must give it to Caesar as well for the bravery of taking the opportunity, which, hopefully represented himself, but great stuff for Caesar as well for being as close as that, especially on Monaco.
Very well to keep within touching distance of Jarbelu. He's still maintaining that half-second gap. But if he's close enough on the run-up to Saint-Devant this time around, he may be able to get Jarbelu before.
I seem to be clipping the wall there with the real wheel, so that would have cost him roughly half a second.
Seeing there, but Michael Handel in the wall. Meanwhile, he's got Warrington behind him. It's one of those corners that's very easy to lose it on. Warrington not quite close enough to make a move on Handel on this occasion.
Yeah, I'm on board now with Caesar. This ought to be a epic battle, and I think this is going to be a very long battle, because Caesar is a very patient follower, especially on track when he wants position, and when he's attacking he's very patient. He will wait for the right opportunity, but he will also be very aggressive by letting Jarbelu know that he is there and he's not going anywhere sometime soon. So this would be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Keeping that half-second gap between him and Handel as they head through the Nouvelle chicane. Still early stages in the race, and already we're seeing some great battles on the track. Handel starting to increase the gap over Waddington as they head round Rascasse through to Anthony Noakes. Waddington's got the DRS. Is he going to go for the move? Is he going to go for an overtake? Well, on this occasion, the back up front, Caesar's managed.
Just before getting the overtaking, so the wall collision would have cost him a bit of time again. But he's on Jarbelu.
Yeah, Caesar managing to make up that half second that he lost a couple of laps ago. Already back within touching distance. He goes for a torpedo attempt. Tried to do a Daniel Kvyat to the Nouvelle chicane, but wasn't quite close enough to go. Wasn't quite close enough to make it stick. Again slightly, but he's still within touching distance.
that is close.
And Jabelu almost spins it.
One.
Opportunity comes a knocking for Caesar. The opportunity's there. He's just got to go for it. He's going to have the inside line of Sandemont. Is he going to make it stick? That was... Oh my goodness me. Corner cutting. Will he need to let Jabelu back through though? Because in my eyes...
move will be giving him the position back here, Kenzie. Because that was... If that was not a torpedo, then I don't know. But I don't think Caesar would have done that deliberately. I think under the pressure he missed his braking point and didn't want to collide with Jabelu there. But yeah, that was good.
That was very intense to see it now. And now look at that, Caesar already building a gap over Jabelu. The gap's already up to 1.5 seconds and it's still climbing. How has Caesar built up such a big gap already in the space of just half a lap?
Well, we did see his pace staying behind his Jabelu. You know, it wasn't very difficult for him. He wasn't struggling to stay behind him. I think it was just a bit of dirty air taking him to the wall, clipping it a few times. You know, so it did showcase that he does have the pace to stay with him. And eventually, you know, showing his pace if he gets into the lead. But now, Jabelu is under pressure from third place.
Jamie in the Toro.
Jamie, yes.
Yeah, Jamie. I nearly said Jamie in the Toro Russell there. I'm not used to seeing the actual cars, the teams, but of course, it's their own cars. There are no teams in the Elite League. And we've got our first pit stop of the day from Adrian Sullivan. He's the first man to go into the pits. He'll be at the back. To be able to make a pit stop here and maintain position on track, you're looking at roughly 23, 24 seconds, maybe a bit more just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, it depends also what you're in the pits for, because if it's a front wing change, you can add another 7 seconds to that, odd, which most likely will be the case, you know, when you go for pitting on Monaco. It would be some sort of repair job as well, not necessarily just tires. But yeah, that's accurate, Kenzie.
Indeed, Jamie, meanwhile, he's within touching distance of Jabelu.
And look at that lead, another second added to the lead from Caesar over Jabelu. Caesar is flying.
That is incredible to see.
And here he goes. Jamie on the inside. Jamie on the inside. Did he make the move stick? He's got
it. He's got the inside line heading into the lowest hairpin. There he goes. Oh. And Jabelu's in the wall. Oh, Jabelu has hit them. And as a result, Chris Harley has lost a place. Kyle Keegan now up in the fourth
position. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah, put the ghosting on, boys. Let's go through it. But you see, that's why I think they have done the ghosting. Because if that should have happened, we would have had 10, 11 cars piling up there, unnecessarily causing damage to the rest of the cars that wasn't part of the accident. First place.
And now Jabelu's in the wall! Trying to cut in there, Jabelu spun it and hit the wall! And he's lost a few places as a result. God, my goodness me! And that was, oh my goodness me, everyone's going into the wall right now!
Causing him to spin. I was on Kyle's cam.
And Kyle Keegan still in third, crucially. Chris Harley, second man to come into the pits today. Now these soft tyres, those soft tyres, they don't last long around this track. You're only looking at roughly 12 to 25 laps.
Yeah, 25 would be cutting it way that you would have wanted to. You see the issue is, Kenzie, there's a lot of cornering here. And there's a lot of acceleration out of the corners as well. So the tires won't last, the softs won't last. Oh, that was...
We're on to lap 14 already. Waddington right on the back of Hubert. And just joining us in the commentary box right now, we've got one of the other commentators from the Tour of the Devil League. It's Ivan. Good evening, Ivan. How are you doing this evening?
Very good in yourself, boys. Good evening, boys.
Good evening, Mr. Taylor.
Fantastic. How are you, Tops?
No complaints from our side. Just a very exciting Monaco race here. I'm not sure if you're watching it.
It's been very action-packed so far.
The only thing we're missing here, Taylor, is yourself in the car.
Well, that's just the thing. But now it's asking me to reset my avatar, and what is going on here now?
Why that's happening, I don't know. But while all that was happening, Kyle Keegan has just got himself up into second place, getting past Jamie in the process, and Waddington up into fourth, getting past Hubert in the process.
And we have
Right,
battle going on as well. McDougall. Well, it looks like a Ferrari and Mercedes battle because of the liveries, but this is also ought to be a good one. Within half a second of 11. And
Sounding good there, boys.
On Newman.
Yellow flag at sector 2, and that was and Michael Handel, a small touch on Jarve Lou's car. They're losing a lot of ground as a result of that.
Sorry, gentlemen, can you just send me an invite again, please?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
And Michael Handel with a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. There's going to be a lot of penalties. And hang on! Michael Handel, it's our first casualty of the Monaco Grand Prix today.
Why?
What on earth happened there? I don't know, but whatever the case, Michael Handel's our first.
Oh, that would have been a massive accident. Newman just passed Robin at the standing, T-boning in the first corner.
My goodness me!
And he left.
It damaged.
He left.
Does it?
Oh, left.
Yeah, technical issues. He's left the session. Like I said, that's technical issues. But if that were to be a case of damage being on, that would have almost certainly we would have already lost at least half the field by this point.
That would have been another half of the field. So we would have been sitting here with a third of the cars actually on the grid because it was Newman, Beer Boost, Jarve Lou, Waddington, all of them going through the same car. T-boning, but going through the same car of again, Rubbernecker. I'm so excited, I keep forgetting the guys' names, but apologies for that. But it would have been 5 cars out, Kinsley. All of them drove right through.
I see we're using the multiplayer cars.
Oh,
yeah. With this being the Elite League, we'll be using the multiplayer cars throughout the Elite League, and it'll be running alongside the main league at the same time every week.
Fantastic news. Fantastic news.
Newman is under a bit of pressure for 5th place. From 4th place, so apologies for that. He's going for the move. Oh. Guys.
Well, there's a really good battle
Wolves-
between JBL and Anthony going at the moment. Oh, and that touch.
Yeah, not quite being able to make the move stick on that occasion. But we've got two great battles here. One for the last podium position between Chris Harley
Oh, guys.
and
Sorry, bumping. Gear boost. Oh. Oh my word.
Oh, and Waddington went to move. He went for the top. He tried to do it down to Kavir, went for the torpedo, and John Bale gets the place back.
Ah, I'm telling you, this is insane. Holy Moses. If damage was on, the race would have been done. I'm telling you guys now. They would
would have been done
there's
more
no
so
whole left. Holy.
It would have been done long before now. We would have had at least 2 or 3 safety cars by this point.
Well, I think the safety car ran out of petrol, Kenzie. I think he would not have been able to come out again.
So, gentlemen, unfortunately, I was at work. Can anybody fill me in? What are the place grids looking like for the Monza race tomorrow?
All right, so we've got Leclerc first, Hamilton second, Bottas third.
JBL and Anthony going toe to toe down out of the.
Out of the Nouvelle chicane.
Yeah.
Up to
Almost
swimming
a
pool.
Wilson. Oh, he's been falling.
What? And Waddington.
Oh my
And Waddington will be keeping 5th place for the time being. Kyle Keegan, the next man to come into the pits, lap 19. That's very late on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
JBL in
also
the pits
pitting.
as well now. And that means Waddington's now up into 4th. So the running order on lap 19. Caesar in the lead. Newman in 2nd. Harley 3rd, but he's got 2nd place. Newman lost 2nd place out of Casino Square. And Chris Harley takes 2nd place. Joe Newman down to 3rd. Waddington 4th. Keegan 5th. Huber 6th. Hazelwood 7th. JBL 8th. Jamie 9th. And Solomon rounding up the top 10.
It looks as if Jamie has left the session because his car's ghosted.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of drivers with technical issues throughout the race so far. 20 laps down already. Yeah, we were about to mention the qualifying positions for the Italian Grand Prix for tomorrow. Live
Yes,
coverage,
please.
as always, live coverage as always will be on Sky Sports F1. Little bit of promotion there, folks.
They're going to contact you tomorrow with the position there, Kenzie. But
Yeah,
yes,
I was about to say, Chase Carey, if you manage to find this stream, give us a call. We'd love to be able to commentate for Formula One.
Yeah,
I
we'll
will
definitely do it.
clean
We'll
the
come as a
pits
team, man. South
with a
African,
mic in
British,
my
let's
hand.
do it, bruh.
imagine that.
Well, you guys could take care of the coverage for the viewers from South Africa.
Oh, yes.
I will for sure. And you know what?
And we've got Caesar in the pits right now.
Same with Hazelwood, just left the pits as well. Ivan, he's just this yellow flag in sector 3, boys.
Yeah, Caesar just came into the pits there.
Okay, yes, give me a good pedal, good sluts, bro.
All right, so
Monza.
it's
Yeah, the
Leclerc,
Monza. I've got it in front of me.
Hamilton, Bottas,
Leclerc
and Vettel.
Yeah, that's the top 4. Then it's Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Albon, Stroll, and Raikkonen. But oh boy, the end to the qualifying at Monza earlier this afternoon. What on earth was that all about?
Oh my word.
Have you actually? No, Ivan, you could not have watched it because you know what happened? All of them were waiting for all of them to actually go out on the last minute so that they could get the tow. And no one went out. And the moment, I think it was Ricardo that left first, if I'm not mistaken. But then him and Stroll kept the whole pack behind them so long that only 2 guys managed to get a lap in the last stint before Q3.
You're joking.
And that lap was, I promise you, and that was investigated by the FIA. And if I got that article correct, where's my phone? If I got that article correct, it was, I think they spoke about Hulkenberg being investigated for that. Why? I'm not sure. But let me get that article for you guys in the meantime. But yes, they all got it wrong, Ivan.
Yeah. But here's the thing, I mean,
got
it
it
goes
wrong.
to show you the guys are all paid for the tow aspect, and that kind of messed them all around, bro. Honestly.
Hulkenberg, Sainz and Stroll reprimanded for the last bit.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And I've actually got the section that was that they were concerned about the infringement regarding that. Document 15, SC1, SC2. Document read as follows: quote, in order to ensure that cars are not driven unnecessarily slowly on in-laps during and after the end of qualifying or during reconnaissance laps when the pit exit is opened for the race, drivers must stay below 1 minute 45 between the safety car lines shown on the pit lane map.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
article reads, the 3 drivers was only reprimanded. So no penalties were given, but the FIA will expedite a solution for the future for this type of situation. So in other words, like Kingsley said, they were policing Q3 basically by saying, listen guys, everyone wants to go for the tow, so we're not going to be waiting on you guys to get it right. There's your minimum lap time that you need to attend to, or make sure that you reach, just to get everything on, because as we know, Monza, everyone waits for everyone in the last minute to do a Q3 final lap. And now these 3 boys decided that, alright, if I'm not going to get a chance to battle my lap, I'm just going to drive slowly, basically. And they got reprimanded, but no penalties were given. And thank you for not giving them penalties, because that would have again buggered up the whole race with you.
No, well, I agree with you. Would have definitely taken its toll on the race. Boys, did you notice there's a nice three-way battle here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place?
Yeah.
Yep, 3 car scrap here. I'm riding with it right now. Joe Newman in 3rd, Kyle
Hubert.
Keegan 4th, Hubert in 5th. Keegan went for the
pass.
Keegan went for the move.
And there's
And Hubert just gave him a little bump draft there.
Yeah, you got so nicely, boys.
The
It's
inside
definitely
wall.
a no holds barred match.
Yeah, oh my God, and that looked like one of the guys that was in the pits. Someone in the pits, well, they've been lapped by the looks of it.
There's issues with this
Hubert.
Robbie.
And small collision there, and Hubert's now up into 3rd. Hubert was 4th, but Hubert gets 3rd place back. Round the low hairpin goes for the torpedo.
Just a nasty move there on the low hairpin.
Kyle Keegan just torpedoed it up the Lowe's hairpin and managed to get a place!
They keep behind them.
That is... Oh, if that's not karma, I don't know what is!
And,
Oh my God, they're not leaving space. They're not leaving space.
Nouvelle
Oh, look at this.
Nouvelle chicane! This is a great scrap for 3rd place! I mean, you said it just a couple of minutes ago there, Willem. No holds barred! This is why we love Monaco!
Guys, why is damage on? Why is it on?
Why is damage? Damage?
Why is damage off?
Why is it off? Why is it off?
Because it's no hold barred. This is what the guys want. Just go out there and smash it.
We wanted to see chassis flying over the casino. And into the pool.
Dare I?
A driver lying on the yacht. We wanted to
Dare I say? Dare I say too soon? Too soon, dare I say?
Probably not, yeah.
I'm not going to mention that topic, but this is Monaco, man.
My goodness me.
Well, guys, let me just say this. If you said these cars are very clean, 100%. I saw them drive very clean in previous rounds, okay?
Yes, but this
But tonight we have seen the
guys
dirty
know there's
side.
no damage.
This is the dirty side, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course, you gotta
This
give
is-
that.
Can the
Look
clean
at
driver
that
become
cutting
dirty?
chicanes.
There you
Look
go,
at
and he
this
gets
right.
a time. He gets a time penalty as a result.
Oh my word. Put damage on simulation, please.
There won't be a grid left. The only person running then would be Caesar. I mean, that man is so comfortable on this track.
Yes.
He's definitely showing that he made his pit stop and he managed to maintain the lead.
Oh my word. I can't hold it in.
That was a chaotic couple of laps, to say the least.
There's a good battle between JBL and Ratskit. Or Ratscat?
Yeah,
I'm not
that's-
sure who that is.
That is Adrian Solomon from Germany. He's one of the newcomers to the league.
I almost said rat's ass, but sorry, the K didn't come out. There's rat's ass. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh, just to mention quickly, just to get back to the Formula One, the actual Formula One. Have you guys seen that massive crash for F3?
In Formula 3. Yeah,
What
that
is there?
Yeah,
He
he
touched the
clipped
curb on the outside of
he
the,
clipped
the
one of the
last
curb.
turn.
The parabolica,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And,
And then
just
that thing
went
is flying.
airborne into one of the catch benches.
Oh my word.
Twice,
Oh
Ivan.
my word.
But luckily,
Twice longitudinal. He flipped longitudinal and horizontal, one each, landed on his chassis, on his floorboard, on the fencing, missing Stewart by millimeters.
thankfully,
I have to find a video for that.
Please
Thankfully,
do.
he managed to
I couldn't find one. I don't, so if you can, please forward it to me because I would like to rewatch that. They actually showed the replay on the quali session of Monza earlier today. But guys, just to come back to the reality of this whole thing, we had the poor event, or the very sad event of Antoine Hubert last week.
Yeah.
last
A weekend later, F3, that driver escaped death by only miracle. Because, you know, that could have been turned out very horribly for both him and the stewards. Because I don't know if you guys seen it. I still haven't seen it. But he missed the stewards by millimeters.
I'm actually going to be scouring the internet right now to see if I can try and find this video.
So we do appreciate this sport, but again, you know, we need to appreciate the dangers these guys put themselves in because I saw that and I almost swallowed my own face the moment they showed that replay, and I thought it was over with, and luckily the commentator said, and he escaped without, you know, a mark. So thank God for that.
Does it ease?
But it's very dangerous. And I couldn't get a replay of that on the F1 app as well. I don't know where to find it.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. Oh my word.
Send the link.
Yes.
Look how close he lands to the stewards.
Yeah, the steward just legged it, and it was Alexander Peroni for the Campos racing team.
That's
Was it? But yeah, it was a case that thankfully managing to escape without any injuries.
Also, another thing that is there, Ivan, they took that sausage curl on the outside. They took it away moments after the accident. They took that away as a safety measure for the following races.
It just launched
They
it.
took it away. It
Well, if you
launched,
go
took it
onto
away.
the F1, if you go onto the F1 site, there is a video.
On the F1 site or the app? Because on the app I can't.
I'm on the F1 site. So I searched F3 Monza crash video. You'll get 2 sites straight away. So if you go to the F1 site, you'll see it straight away.
Yeah, I've just sent you the link, Will, and I managed to find a video of it on. I managed to find a video of it on YouTube.
Oh,
but it was.
thank you.
Yeah, like I say, the steward in the replay. You can see it. He legged it to try and avoid any issues with the car. It was one of those cases where luckily Peroni managed to escape without any injuries, but he did get checked over at the local medical centre afterwards.
Yes, well, you have to be checked after something like that. That's horrific. Holy Moses.
Well,
Have you
Halo
guys seen
definitely
how
came
he
into play
landed
there.
upside down on that fencing? If it wasn't for the Halo again, guys, the Halo.
Yeah, once again,
they
the
would have
Halo
had
came
this
into
man's
effect.
life. Yeah.
Exactly. We would have. Worst case scenario, we would have had another fatality in the space of just a week.
But you've got to give it to these guys. They go out all out to make this sport as safe as possible for the drivers. I mean, yes, we all want that danger aspect to the sport, but you don't want to see nasty crashes like what happened with Antonio Robert last week. This is quite a horrific scene to see watching this replay, but once again, the safety aspect has come into play in the sport.
Absolutely, and just to go back to what happened at Spa last week, Carrera's family issued a statement regarding the condition of their son, saying that he is now in intensive care after sustaining some respiratory issues now. So he's been put into a medically induced coma to try and
Recover him on that way.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what, from the Talk of the Devil side, from ORSA side, we wish him a full recovery. He's in all of our thoughts.
Yes, and obviously from all of us, that's fans, we speak for everyone. Our prayers go out for him to recover and get back onto the track and give us the great races he's done in the F2 series.
Yes,
we really hope
once a driver, always a
that
driver.
happens.
And someone like that will be back in the car as soon as he can walk, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just like Frank Williams.
Yes, Mr. Sir Frank Williams, he's a legend all on his own. Really is.
Yeah.
So just a recap on the current leading points or current standings. We've got Caesar in first, Beard Boost, can't quite remember his name, in second.
That's Chris Harley, yeah. Hubert third.
Yeah,
Hamilton
then we've
fourth.
got Anthony in fourth, yeah.
Joe Newman fifth, JBL sixth, Solomon in seventh, Keegan eighth, Hazelwood ninth, and Gareth rounding up the top 10. And it looks like Thomas Edwards is our second casualty of the Monaco Grand Prix. I didn't see what happened, but he must have had some sort of issue to cause him to retire from the race. So the only drivers outside the top 10 are Jamie and Andrew McDougall. They're the only drivers outside the top 10 right now. We're approaching half distance. JBL right on the back of Joe Newman as they head round the Portier through the tunnel now.
Yeah, I've been watching this battle for a little while now. And it's actually going on a while, but it's so hard to see Jabe Lu going all the way down to 6. His race is just falling apart basically tonight. He's now on the hard tyre as well, so it'll be even more harder for him to catch up.
Yeah, he'll be hoping to get.
He was leading the race,
hoping
by
to
the
get-
way, Ivan. At a moment, he was leading the race for a few laps. Quite a few laps.
Indeed, he started.
Oh,
Indeed, he started on pole position as he head. I was like, he did start on pole position because of Waddington and Michael Handel both having grid penalties in qualifying. JBL was initially going to start third, but because of the grid penalties, JBL started on pole position.
Yeah, that's right.
So he is having a hard race at the moment.
Very much so.
So
It's
it's
gone horribly wrong.
Joe Newman. It's only Joe Newman and JBL. They're the only drivers that are on the hard tyre. Everyone else is on mediums. And I saw the actual Monaco Grand Prix. And oh, hang on, Ben Hazelwood's out now. Ben Hazelwood is our next casualty.
Where would that have been?
Why? There isn't any damage.
Damage is
Why
off.
is there DNF?
Damage is off. I don't understand how DNFs are happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like he lost it. It looks like
Yeah, must have lost it in the beginning of the start straight finish.
yeah, that's it. That must have been what it was because we saw Gareth take the place that Hazelwood did have down the main street, just past Anthony Noakes.
Yeah, but there isn't any
Now we're
damage.
down.
What?
Now
That's
somebody's-
not now.
Got completely
There's
off
another
track
person
there.
that went into the runoff.
So I think this goes to show even with the damage turned off, we're still having a few retirements.
I
Very
think it's
interesting.
frustration retirements, I would say.
Well, essentially that means we've got. Because I don't know if Kyle Keegan's car is actually racing or if it's ghosted. Very interesting delivery he's got there. No, that's ghosted. So essentially we've only got, 9 drivers really on track.
There was another time penalty for track infringements.
So what's your predictions for tomorrow's race, Kenzie?
Predictions for Monza tomorrow? I think realistically it will be another case of Ferrari coming out on top and the Tifosi going home happy.
I beg to differ. Not because I'm a Mercedes fan, but just because of the difference in pace I saw in Q3.
I mean, look at it like this.
Milliseconds.
Yeah, well, put it like this. I mean, you've got Leclerc, who definitely wants to get his second win, because the first one from last week was, bittersweet. Yes, he got his first F1 career win last week.
But not in the circumstances he would have wanted.
Exactly.
Yep.
There wasn't that celebration that would have followed.
But yeah,
So I
Yeah,
think he will be chasing that second win so that he can celebrate it properly.
Yeah, but
it was
he's got the car, Ivan. But here's the thing: Hamilton and Bottas. Hamilton being only 68 milliseconds behind him in Q3, alright? Bottas being only a tenth behind, and they split the two Ferraris. So Hamilton starts in second place will get the toe on the first straight, which is a very long toe up until you get the first corner's braking zone. So the first lap will indicate. I'm not calling it in the first lap. What I'm saying is it will give us a very good indication of how good of a battle it's going to be. But if I should say now, what my predictions are, I'm going to give it to Merck as a first place, and then I'm not sure if Bottas is going to be able to keep it up with both Ferraris towing on him, but it's definitely going to be a mixed podium for Ferrari. And I'm giving Hamilton the win here for tomorrow.
I've got to ask.
His car's very strong in the middle sector.
Yeah. I've got to ask, where is the 2 Red Bulls sitting and the 2 McLarens?
Verstappen is last. Verstappen is last because of a penalty starting engine. Yeah.
He didn't set a
penalty.
Oh, and JBL gets knocked out of the way there by the German driver.
Solomon.
Sorry.
Yeah, Solomon. But yeah, Verstappen didn't set a lap time in qualifying today, so it wasn't really going to make much of a difference to him anyway.
But they had engine issues again as well, and that's on a new power unit.
That is very concerning.
Yeah, Honda, I don't know, it seems as Honda's kind of let themselves go with these new updates.
Yeah, I hope it's not another relationship that's going to go sour for Red Bull. They walked away from Reynolds after being there for very, very long years, and it started off very well for Max with Honda. But I hope this doesn't bring up concerns for them having a sour relationship with Honda now as well. But these type of things happen.
It does happen, yes, I agree with you 100% for them. However, look at the relationship between Red Bull and Renault over the years. You must understand, Renault produced the motor and then gave it to Red Bull. Where Red Bull has basically stated in their contract with Honda that they will tell Honda how to adjust the motor to fit to their chassis.
That's correct. So that was the
they've got a
big
lot
turning
of,
point for
a
Honda.
lot of pull when it comes to how the design of the motor is put out.
That's right, and that was the big concern for Horner, not having the say when it comes with the engine. But now he's got the say with Honda, and that was one of, like you say, one of the points for Red Bull. We want to have a say in the engine supplier and the design and the manufacturing thereof. So yes, that does play a role, but I just don't want this to be another sour thing for Red Bull because they're doing very well. They're challenging both Ferrari and Mercedes, and that, to say the least, takes a lot.
Yes, exactly. They're doing well. And where did Albon qualify?
Yes, I can't remember now, out of hand. Let me quickly check here for you. I'm very close to all of that.
And then I'm wondering where my McLaren boys have settled, because I know where they had their power unit issues in Belgium.
I've got them here for you. Albon as a DNF in Q3, but he starts 8th.
All right.
And Max, as you know now, is last. Then 7th is Sainz and 14th is Norris. But Norris is
top 10. That's not bad.
Yeah. But there's a reason for the two McLarens being so far away from each other, which is this weekend the drivers got choice which one wants to give the toe first, or who wants the toe first. So it was not Lando Norris's turn on the last to give Sainz the toe to be able to get into Q3. So that's why we out like it like that.
Yeah, I did a bit of research and I did catch an interview that was broadcast on Sky where they interviewed the ex-Porsche manager that came into the team, and he did mention that they were worried about their pace coming into Q3. So I'm glad that the toe did work out for one of the two drivers.
Yeah, the thing is, all of the drivers, all of
Oh,
the
and we've got another retirement.
yeah, we do.
And that is
That's
that's
Gareth.
Gareth. And again, down the main straight, just like what happened with Hazelwood earlier.
This race does seem to take its toll now on the drivers. And we are halfway, gentlemen. We are past halfway now.
We're past half distance now. We are now down to 10 drivers. So regardless of
And
what
this
happens,
This is quite spread out now. There's a field.
Well, this takes that, but then, I mean, looking at the racing now, I mean, yes, the guys understand that there's no damage, but watching their lines and goodies like that, I can see that in tomorrow's Extreme 1 League race, there's going to be a lot of penalties that are going to come into play, and there's going to be a lot of DNFs.
And it's double penalties, Ivan.
Yeah.
Double penalties for tomorrow's race. So, if you would have gotten 5 points or 3 points penalty, it will now be 6 or a 10-point penalty.
That's
Which
fine.
they are taking it.
Keep the nose
they're
clean,
taking it
that's
very
all it
seriously.
is.
Yep. Yep.
which could potentially mean a race ban as we head to Canada next week.
Oh yes, certainly. Certainly.
I am looking forward to tomorrow's race. I'm not looking forward to the track though. I will be honest.
I was waiting for that line. That's why I started laughing the moment you said you're looking forward. I'm in the same boat as you, Ivan, but I'm just a reserve. So I don't think I'm going to get a chance because everyone wants to race this track. So I expect all the permanent guys to be there, and I fully expect to not have a chance tomorrow because I'm a reserve. But if I do get a chance, I'm in the same boat as you because I'm looking very forward to the race and to the track. That being said, but I'm not looking forward to the incidents, which is inevitable.
Keep our noses clean. That's the best option.
It is.
And
it is,
we've
but
got
Chris
a
Hart-
takeover happening. Someone's in the pits.
That was Chris Harvey just coming into the pits for his second stop of the day.
yeah.
Back onto the mediums.
That'll take him all the way through to the end of the race.
35 laps left in this race. I'm optimistic that he'll get those tyres through to the end of the race because we've got Adrian Solomon in 6th. He's been on his mediums for 31 laps. But of course, as the race goes on, the track's going to rubber in more. You'll be able to push the tyres for, you'll be able to take those tyres for a longer stint.
Yellow flags in sector 2.
Yeah, that'll be for somebody going wide, no doubt. Caesar has a 15-second gap over Hubert as we are approaching lap 44 of 78.
I've been riding on board with Caesar over the last couple of laps, and his lines are very smooth. He doesn't take charges when he doesn't have to. I'm really very impressed on the way he seems to handle this car.
And that's it. Hang on. What's
just going on
happened? What just happened there is for some bizarre reason, and oh my goodness me!
And it's a DNF.
He's somehow gone into the pits for intermediates, and he's now out of the race. How that's happened is beyond me.
That will be a frustration retirement because you go into the pits when you get out of the long tires, trying to fight to get the win.
And virtual safety car is out, so that's neutralised everyone right now. That is
why
you put as a
virtual safety car, no damage.
You summed it up perfectly there. So Solomon is going to try and take advantage of this by trying to get a free pit stop out of it.
Well, I would have done the exact same thing.
I'm sorry. What? Retire?
No, take the advantage of
Oh,
The
yes.
safety safety car.
He couldn't quite maintain position on track. JBL now up into 5th as a result of that. But yeah, that is really bizarre to see that happen. He comes into the pits, he ends up getting on the wrong tyres, and then for some reason ends up retiring from the race.
Very, very weird.
So that's very bizarre. I mean, the last time we saw someone ending up with a DNF, and literally after making a pit stop, and I do mean literally as soon as they were off the jacks, Gary Braden at Mexico last season, and that pretty much derailed any hopes of him trying to get second place in the championship.
Yeah, I remember spectating that race, and it was due to the fact that he had technical issues. His steering wheel had come off his rig as he came out of the pit lane, or came into the pit lane. So I think that was a rage quit from his side.
Yeah, not intentionally, of course.
No. But yeah, I do remember that race quite vividly. It was a really good battle between him and the reigning champion Callum. Through a good 15 to 16 laps.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but in the end, Callum ended up in another fantastic battle, one of the great battles of the season, battling Stephen for the win. And Callum ended up taking the win. He did end up getting a time penalty for track infringement, but that penalty was quickly scrapped as he took avoiding action to prevent a collision with Stephen.
Just something interesting was, have you seen how Anthony Waddington is chasing down on Caesar? That gap was 25 seconds at a time, it's now 17 seconds.
Yeah, but remember that virtual safety car would have come into play there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's a lot of time under a virtual safety car to make up, eh?
Yeah, the last. Let's see.
It's almost 10 seconds.
Not taking the virtual safety car into consideration, the times over the last few laps for Caesar, I've got them up on screen right now for the viewers. 15-1, 15-3, 15-4, 15-8, 15-6, 14-9. Waddington, he's definitely, as his again excluding the safety car lap, 14-1, 14-2, 15-3, 15-0, 14-5, 14-9. Waddington is so much faster than Caesar right now. How has he managed to find that pace all of a sudden? They've both been on those mediums for the same amount of time.
I think the medium might be coming into a little bit of a rebirth, if you want to call it that, because I mean they do have their phases coming through the different wears of the tire.
Yeah, but it does seem like Anthony... Well, Caesar's very good around Monaco, but so is Anthony as well. It's gonna be
Not
about...
as smooth as what Caesar is, though. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
Then, like I was saying, just comparing the two, as far as their previous laps were concerned, Caesar's times have been more consistent than Waddington's. I mean, yes, Waddington's had his laps being quicker than Caesar's, but not as consistent as Caesar has been.
Yeah, and you know what, if you go look deeper into those lap times, you know, if they are very far apart, that means your tire wear tends to be higher. The closer your gaps are, your tire wear tends to be less.
Yeah, the gaps now maintained at that 17-second mark. as we approach lap 50 of 78.
Now the race is starting to take its toll on some of the drivers.
Indeed. But at the end of the day, that's why the Monaco Grand Prix is such a prestigious race, not just in Formula One, but in motorsport in general. That's why it's up there as part of the Triple Crown. The other two being the Le Mans 24 Hours and of course the Indy 500, which is the same weekend as the Indy 500, no less.
Yep. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay, well, it was the same weekend as Monaco this season, but that's why those races are.
Oh, that.
That's why those races are so prestigious. Because, I mean, yes, every driver wants to win. Every driver wants to win that prestigious race, but only a select few can actually claim that they officially did it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's a
Jim
big
Clark
achievement.
being one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, the interesting thing, Graham Hill is the only driver in motorsport history to actually have that motorsport Triple Crown.
Really?
And that's Damon Hill's father.
Yeah.
Indeed it is. Fernando Alonso is 2/3 of the way there for his Triple Crown. The only thing he needs to get is the Indy 500. Alonso didn't even qualify for the Indy 500 this year.
Yeah.
But he's pushing that, eh? That's his new endeavor.
No, he'll definitely do something about that. If I remember, last year the Indy 500 was also on the same weekend as Monaco, because Jenson Button jumped into Alonso's car, did he not?
I believe so. In
That rings a bell.
2017 he did.
Yes,
2017 I
yes,
believe he
right.
did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lovely communication there between Alonso and Button, and you could only hear it from Button's side, really. But Alonso said, "Just take care of my car," and Alonso said, Button said, "Sure,
I'm gonna
I'll
pee
take
in
care
it."
of your car. I'll even pee in the seat for you."
Well, I would have.
That is brilliant.
Just because I can.
That-
In Alonso's seat, do you have the honor to be in that seat? I would have a number 2 in there, man.
Only you would.
Yes, he would. I will leave him a big surprise in that seat. I was there. You know that message that you get sometimes when you visit these public toilets, and then when you visit the loo, there's always like this coaty pen mark with I was here and with a number. Well, I'll leave something like that for Alonso. It's one of those cases. Have you seen that? Take a photo because it's not happening again. Yeah, so I'll do a number 2 in the seat. For sure. I'm probably
talking
more,
about,
because I want to, because I have to. If I go 300 kilometers an hour around the corner, I'll probably have a number 2, regardless if I wanted to. It's just gonna happen.
Well,
thanks,
talking about experiences, it was my birthday on Monday, this past Monday that came through, and my lovely family has come together to buy me a track day experience at the Thruxton race course, and I will be basically working my way up all the way through to the Formula 4 cars. So I'll be doing go-karts, I'll be going up a couple of ranks, I'll be taking the Porsche Cayman around the track as well, and I'll also be doing 5 or 6 laps in a Formula Ford or Formula 4 car, single-seater, and the way it looks, if I time it right, it'll also be around about towards the end of June, beginning of July next year, during the summer season, and there will probably be guest F1 drivers there as instructors. So I'm looking forward to that experience.
Yeah, and As I say, we've had a couple more confirmations regarding the Formula One calendar for next season, especially. Monza is going to be on the circuit for another 5 years at least.
Yeah, 2024. Yeah.
Indeed.
And what is your guys' take on the track list? I mean, it's the it's the most tracks run over a season.
Yep, 22 races with 7 back-to-back.
That's going to take its toll on the drivers. It really is.
Indeed, but they've moved the British. I mentioned last week that they've moved the British Grand Prix to prevent it clashing with Wimbledon and the Euro 2020 final, which is going to take place at Wembley.
Ooh, that's going to be quite interesting. I mean, it was a channel surfing day this year with the F1 GP going. It was
we had the cricket
final for the
Cricket
Wimbledon
World
and Cricket World.
The Cricket World Cup.
Yeah.
I say the Wimbledon final. It definitely ranks up there as one of the best Wimbledon matches I've ever seen.
Oh yes,
that,
I would
that
agree with you on that.
That final set, especially.
They ended up playing, I think, almost 6 hours, wasn't it?
I'll just double check that with you. We just had Joe Newman, meanwhile, go into the pits. He's going onto the soft tyres. He'll be trying to get those to the end of the race, which would not surprise me. Because again, with how well rubbered in the track is, he can afford to go for that final lap, that final stint even.
If you're going for the fastest lap.
Fastest lap. I would have.
Oh yes, definitely. And once again, I'm spectating with Caesar, and this man is so smooth, so precise. I'm really enjoying spectating on him right now.
Yeah, and behind them, about 20 seconds down the road, Chris Harley, he gets past Wallington without much trouble.
But Wallington puts
Wallington, he's now in the pits as a result on another set of mediums. He'll definitely go to the end of the race on those. It's just a question.
But it's
of
not going to
Caesar,
bother Caesar. It's not going to bother him because he's already 18 seconds ahead, plus another 20 odd seconds in the pit lane. So he's going to maintain that 18-second lead basically if he comes out.
Absolutely.
And
so this is a race to the end for those two boys.
I see Newman here. Even though he's on the faster tyre, he is stuck behind JBL. Which this is not going to do well for him in the fight for the fastest lap.
Sure.
Indeed, but of course this is just a practice race. There's not really much at stake apart from bragging rights
Jesus
around
stays
Monaco.
out. Jesus stays out. Lap 35 now on that medium.
That's an interesting call from there from Caesar, but of course there's no teams here, so no team orders in play. The gap's already down to less than 17 seconds, and it looks like it's going to continue to fall because Harley's tyres are so much fresher than Caesar's. Caesar's got to start thinking about whether to go for a pit stop now or risk it and try and go to the end of the race on the tyres he's on.
Yeah, but that'll give him, what, almost 50 laps on that set of tyres.
Yeah, that's true. But we have seen we saw in the race this year that we saw drivers doing at least 60, nearly 70 laps on the mediums. But again, a lot of that due to either tyre management or the safety car came into play.
Yeah. Well, that gap, I'm keeping a close eye on that gap, and it's stumbling now.
it is definitely falling. It's continuing to fall. Ivan, I believe it was you that mentioned the Wimbledon final as to how long it was. 4 hours 57 minutes, making it the longest Wimbledon final in history.
Okay, so then I was under correction. It wasn't 6 hours, but I mean still, 4 hours, well, almost 5 hours for those two gentlemen to be playing that game. I mean, it was one of the tightest matches I've seen in a decade.
Yeah, and that's despite how dominant Federer was in the second set.
Who was in the final? Sorry, gentlemen, but I haven't followed tennis.
It was Roger Federer and
Novak Djokovic.
Yes, Novak Djokovic.
Again?
Djokovic, yes.
These two.
Yeah, well, Novak is
they are up there as
number one.
They are up there as some of the greatest tennis players of all time right now.
So who won?
It was Djokovic. It was Djokovic that won.
Yeah.
Was it?
Did he
beat the foot?
Roger?
He beat Federer, and that's despite Federer being very dominant in the second set.
Penalty there for Newman.
Yeah, that was at the swim. It looked like it was at the swimming pool section. The gap between Harley and Caesar. The gap's now down to 15 seconds. It is tumbling down like it is tumbling
15
fast.
seconds now, right?
I think Caesar's going to try and push it so they can go straight onto these softs.
Whatever bit of life is left in those mediums, he's going to take everything out of it, go onto the softs, and then just
20 laps. There's 20 laps left. What is the average lifespan of the softs on this track? Does anybody know?
10 to 15.
It's between 12 and 25 laps. Because I did my research. I did the research. I looked at all the data from the previous race that took place at Monaco earlier this season. Between 12 and 25 laps was the prediction. So it's going to be interesting to see what Caesar does. The gap's down to 14 seconds. 19 laps to go.
And is that
But this
until
pace he
fourth,
will
eh?
be overtaken.
Indeed. So I'll just have a look at the last lap time. The last lap for Caesar. Caesar a 14.8.
And
Chris Harley 13.5, 1.4 seconds. But of course, like I said, Chris Harley, like I said, his tyres are so much fresher.
20 laps
They're
fresher.
a full 22 laps fresher to be exact.
Yep.
Well, at the moment, the fastest time at the moment is a 1:12.722 by Anthony.
Indeed, he is in third place. It looks like he's trying to chase down the leading two as well. The gap down to 13 seconds, and that gap's continuing to fall as well. Be interesting to see what happens.
So for a race that has no damage, we've got now 9 drivers essentially running.
Basically.
Yeah, and it's only the podium. Caesar, Harley, and Waddington. They're the only drivers that are still on lead lap. Everyone else has been lapped at least once.
It's the top 3 that keep lapping these guys.
Well, it just goes to show you the caliber or the caliber of racing or skill that comes with the top 3.
No, this is not.
Exactly,
This race, it's so. You get tired of this. Running this for 78 laps. You get tired.
Well, Caesar's now going to complete lap 61. Start lap 61.
We're on to lap 61 now. Waddington's now 12 seconds behind Harley, who is now 13.5 seconds behind Caesar, and the gap is still falling. Caesar's got to be with the gap that Caesar has right now, it's going to be touch and go if he can get ahead of Waddington, because you're looking at roughly 20 to 24 seconds for a pit stop here.
Yeah.
I really don't know what Caesar's
7-8 seconds to make up with the softs.
Yeah, the gap is now officially 25 seconds. But that gap is continuing to fall. The gap's continuing to fall.
But remember, boys, penalties will come into play here.
Absolutely, but the question is, will the top three be affected by any penalties? It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Gareth has penalties.
Caesar stays out.
That is very interesting. It looks like he's going to try and push those tyres as long as he can.
Yeah, but that will be a mistake. If you look at the times now, it's 23 seconds for Waddington and 12 seconds for him. Waddington being 23 behind the leader. If he pits now, 25 seconds, that's going to be a 12-second deficit between him and Beer Boost.
Yeah.
And he will be able to make that up with the softs.
I've looked at the time penalties, and I don't see any penalties between the top three. So I'll just try and have a double check. Yeah, Waddington now less than 10 seconds behind Chris Harley, who is just under 12 behind Caesar. Caesar's going to need to swallow his pride and actually come in, make a stop.
It does. If he doesn't do it now, I can't see him coming back into first place.
I'd love to know what his tyres are looking at. I mean, I'd love to know what the percentage is.
I would also like to know. I'm actually going to ask him after the race what his percentage was, whether he pits or not.
Because it's getting to a point where he won't be able to come into the pits if he wants to keep that lead. He's going to have to keep going, and that's increasing his chances of getting a puncher.
Absolutely.
Not that. If he pits now, he's going to come out behind Anthony. And, well, to get past Anthony in the first place is not an easy task, and that being done on Monaco is even less, you know. And then, if he does get past him, then you've got Beer Boost left to get past. Yes, you're going to be on the softs, but you're going to be stuck.
As we've seen now with Newman, who got stuck behind JBL for quite a while.
Exactly. So that will be essentially Caesar's race over if he does pit now. And if he does pit now, he'll probably get fastest lap, but that's about as much as it will go for.
And again, he stays out.
I don't understand.
Well, there's 14 laps to go. The gap overall,
he will be on 57 laps.
If Caesar somehow manages to win this race, I've got to take my hat off to him.
Then I would give him the driver of the day. I mean, imagining those tyres for that amount of laps.
I think what he's going to do here, guys, and I'm calling it, he's going to stay out, he's going to wait for Beard Boost to get behind him, and he's going to keep him behind him. Because it's not difficult to keep your place on this track, it's difficult to gain a place on this track. I think that's what he's going to play for.
Yeah, but I hope he doesn't crack under pressure.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He's not going to be on that much pressure, eh? Because there's now 14 laps left, then he's going to be having to defend for 5 or 6 laps.
On worn tyres?
I think he'll make it.
Don't be too surprised if the commentary curse comes back to haunt you guys. Don't be too surprised if the commentator's curse comes back to haunt you.
In
it's
contrast
happened
to
to
what
me.
I'm saying. Thank you very much, Kenji, for that one.
It's happened to me. You've seen that happen.
I'm gonna have
Ivan.
to explain
You've
to
seen
the whole bloody world why I call Caesar to win and defeat if he doesn't get them wrong.
Now I'm under pressure.
Well, you put yourself in that situation, my boy.
No!
Yeah.
Jesus should have left the curse alone. He's awakened the gods against me. Kenji!
I have had a history of jinxing things.
Stop it now! No, Caesar's not
Well,
gonna
the gap-
do it.
Well, the gap's now
10
down to
seconds
50.
now.
Well, overall it's 15 seconds. Okay, but the interesting thing here is that Waddington's tyres are the freshest out of the podium at the moment, and Harley has more time to make up than Waddington does. And that gap, so the gap now 5.6 seconds between Waddington and Harley, but Harley is just under 9 seconds behind behind Caesar. It's 8.6 as he comes down to the lowest hairpin.
I think Anthony will make it. If I'm not cursed.
Well, the gap,
But I think he'll make
the
it.
gap's down. The gap's under 14. The gap's under 14 seconds now. Lap 66, 12 to go after this. We could be in for a grandstand finish here. Potentially a three-way scrap for the win. Now that I mention
Well,
it.
that 8-second gap from first to second place has been standing still now for one lap. And it looks like it will be standing still for another lap. Oh, he went into neutral.
Well, I think
That would have cost him time.
I think the reason for that is that Caesar turned his ERS up, which is why the gap was at a standstill.
But it is dropping again, yeah. And dropping fast.
Yeah, it is dropping. Yeah, it's dropping fast. Yeah, it's now 7.5 seconds.
Well, Caesar is playing the
what
Malaysian game here.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's trying to push those. He's trying to keep those tyres going right through to the end of the race.
Like Ivan said, if he does that, I think it's driver of the day.
Driver of the day. The time management would be unbelievable.
Yeah, the gap now down to 12 seconds, but it's continuing to fall. The gap's now less than 7 seconds between. It was less than 7 seconds between Caesar and Harley. The gap's now less than 5 seconds between Waddington and Harley.
Caesar is
Business
doing.
definitely starting to pick up here.
Yeah, he's managing his engine modes and he's managing his ERS. Bit of a slide
The
there.
back end of his car is sliding out. He's definitely feeling that tire wear right now.
That's going to be. That could cause a few issues. Just looking at the shots of the cars going through the corners now, you can see the marbles off the racing line.
I was actually going to mention that a little bit earlier. They've definitely done very well in incorporating how the track tends to change over the course of the race.
Boom! And Beerboos just clipping the wall there.
It's the gap between Waddington and Harley now down to 3 seconds. Waddington will definitely be challenging for that second place, but can Harley put any pressure on Caesar as we approach the closing stages of the race? The gap's starting to go back up. That's That's concerning.
Yeah, Beard is struggling a bit now. Because he clipped the wall twice in one lap. I wonder if he's not pressurizing himself now, seeing that that gap is so small. That can also happen.
2.4 seconds now between Harley and Waddington.
Well, I'm on board with Waddington. I want to see him getting closer to... Oh, you can see him already. Oh, this ought to be
within touching.
a good battle.
He's within touching distance. Yeah, there's the onboard jet. Waddington can see him up ahead.
Yeah. And this is the thing for Waddington. If he can see you, he wants to. Oh, here it comes.
Mission at this point.
That's less than 2 seconds now, gentlemen.
Can the driver in the pink car keep his cool?
Well, he is the one favoriting the most now to challenge for first place. But by the looks of it, it seems like Anthony is going to put him under pressure first.
Season now 49 laps on those mediums.
On a well done.
Yeah, very well placed
insane.
in shoes at the moment. The longer. Yeah, the longer.
1.5 seconds now.
The longer, the closer Caesar gets to the checkered flag, the more time per lap Harley needs to make up as far as trying to get to that raceway is concerned. Waddington now within a second. He's now within a second of Chris Harley. That might worry Chris Harley a bit.
I'm driving on board with Anthony now.
Because you'd be looking at making at this point roughly a second a lap to try and catch Caesar now.
Make a lunge DRS. DRS is active.
He's got it! Waddington, just like that, storms into second place.
Caesar on the track a bit. Caesar is coming around Casino now. Into the Lowe's hairpin. He's now hit the apex of the Lowe's hairpin. Oh, this is going to be a battle all the way down to the end.
Yeah, 5.7 seconds now. The gap is falling. It's falling fast. Now this is the point where Caesar is going to be clutching at straws to try and keep that race lead. 5 seconds the gap now.
It is
you
falling
can
fast.
see him on the other side of the chicane coming out of the tunnel. Will you be able to see him coming into the swimming pool section? No.
Not quite. It's 4.6 seconds. This could be doable for Waddington. He might get race win here. Because his tyres are 30 plus laps fresher than Caesar's.
34 laps to be exact. The thing is, there's 6 laps left now. So, there's 4 seconds left. So, Anthony is going to battle for 2 laps, I suspect. And in contrast, Caesar would have to defend for 2 laps on basically shot tyres.
And you can hear that car of Caesar's.
So you can hear him already, Oh, there he is, in the tunnel.
I think he just caught a glimpse of him going into the tunnel. Waddington just caught a glimpse of Caesar as he goes through the tunnel.
There he is.
There he is. There he is. We're in for a grandstand finish here, folks.
3.3 seconds. And closing.
3.3 seconds. It's grandstand finish time. Here we go. Let's just hope we don't have a repeat of what happened between Hamilton and Verstappen at this very circuit earlier on this season. 3 seconds. 5 to go after this. On average, you'd be looking at roughly half a second a lap, but Waddington should make that up without much trouble.
Yeah, let's see what Caesar is doing with these cars. Alright, Caesar is definitely managing the ERS and he's definitely playing with the engine modes. I'm on board with him now. But Caesar is keeping it together with those tyres. I must say
already.
Shot together.
There's that
orange
half
shot
second
together,
already.
yeah.
There's the half second that Waddington's made up for this lap. He's going to make up more. Coming through the tunnel.
Oh, this is going to be close. It's hovering 2.5 seconds. It's hovering. It's for the 10th over there. Another 10th down.
Now it's starting to. Now it's falling through the swimming pool. Approaching the 2 second mark now.
Yep,
Gap's
below
now
2
less than
seconds
2
now.
seconds. Less than 2 seconds. He's going to have DRS within the next couple of laps.
Gonna be a 4-lap fight.
5 to go. 5 to go now. Gap's now less than 1.5 seconds. Heading around the Lowe's hairpin. Right on Caesar's gearbox. It's grandstand finish time.
Oh, this is now it, 4 laps to go. He's in the RS range right now. He's probably going to have the RS.
He's just up.
Look how close he
outside
gets under
DRS
the
range.
braking.
Yeah, he's braking a lot later, which is helping him make up the time.
She's a cut a bit there. I wonder if he would have gotten a penalty. No, he
As
hasn't.
long as Caesar manages to keep that gap over 1 second, he won't be too concerned about the DRS. But there's 4 laps to go now. It's crunch time now. Waddington is within DRS range now, but he's going to need to wait another lap to be able to go for it, unless he can make an overtake on this lap.
Well, he is in overtake mode.
The gap's down to half a second. Waddington really going for it here. He's right on the back of Caesar on the Lowe's hairpin. Gotta be careful there.
Caesar's going to have to be very defensive coming out of the tunnel.
Indeed, the gap's
Gonna
down
have to stay inside. Keep the inside
The gap's
line.
under half a second now.
Oh!
Waddington goes. What is it? Went for it. He went for it, but he thought better of it.
That cost him time. Well played, Caesar. That was well driven by Caesar.
It cost him at least half a second in the Nouvelle chicane, but Waddington quickly making that time up.
Caesar just lost the back end there. Oh, he's going wide!
Is Waddington going to get him out? He knows! Not quite! He's got the RS heading down the main straight!
It doesn't have ERS left, so the DRS won't help him that much. But he's right on him. 2 laps, gentlemen.
Yeah. 2 to go after this.
A little bit wide for Anthony, that would have cost him a bit of time. Not getting the best entry and exit there. Composure. Oh my word. This is nerve-wracking.
These are the moments that you live for as an F1 fan. I mean, my goodness me. Round Portier now, got a back marker ahead.
Anthony got better traction coming out of their corner.
Yeah, they will
Going
go
to try
to
for the
the
overtake on this occasion. Not quite.
Nope. It's not close enough.
Not quite on.
I'm getting aerial shots of these two, and the amount of time Anthony is gaining on Caesar.
And yet somehow Caesar is still keeping him behind.
Going to come down to ERS, DRS now.
Round
He
down
doesn't
to
have
nose.
ERS.
Waddington's got it. Is he gonna make it stick? Still not close enough. He's still can't quite get it. Tries a couple of looks up. Massenet.
He's pushing that pressure. He's putting pressure on the season now.
He is definitely. Round to Mirabeau.
Holy Moses, there's one left after this. Oh, Anthony!
Oh my goodness me! Waddington tried to get. Waddington tried to get the hairpin, and oh, he's lost it as a result.
Yeah, you can't put your nose in there.
As a result.
Gonna come down to the last lap.
Oh my goodness me!
This is insane, man! Stop it!
Don't stop it. Go, boys.
No! Bloody hell! It's the curse on me for this damn thing to happen.
Oh boy! Nothing. Again, Waddington making up so much time, cancelling out the mistakes he's made.
Oh, please,
He
God,
is
help
right
me.
on. He's right on him. There's the DRS. He's turned it on. Round the outside of Sandemont. Caesar takes the lead. Yes.
No, they're crashing. Oh, they're
Even my Caesar.
He's laughing at this. He knows what's happening.
How is Caesar still in the lead? How is Caesar still in the lead?
Holy...
Oh, he drops down this
And it
time.
is! There it is!
No!
There it is! The commentator's curse strikes again!
Kenzie!
I called it! I said the commentator's curse could happen!
No!
Wait, what's happened? Waddington's out of fuel! Waddington's out of fuel! Are you kidding me?
The goes on with me!
The curse just came back onto me!
Yes!
Waddington is out of fuel!
Caesar. Well done. 57 laps on those mediums.
What a crazy climax to the race!
Face. Eat your own face. It didn't happen.
Cesar Lopez wins
Well
the
done,
Monaco Grand
Caesar.
Prix in
Brilliant
the most
racing.
crazy of circumstances. Can Waddington keep Harvey
And
behind?
he lost.
No, he can't.
Second place.
Waddington is now going to finish third. What a crazy
Holy
climax to the race.
Some noodles.
Good save there.
Yeah, that was close.
I think this tops what happened in Australia in the opening race of the Extreme 1 League.
Well, it took back.
That's
for sure.
That's I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, man.
Holy goodness.
Unbelievable.
What racing by
Oh.
the two of them right at the end.
And then for Waddington to run out of fuel.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic because I want to hear what these guys say, and I'm probably gonna chip in, so I'm not gonna chip in on the mic because you have not.
I'm
cursed
definitely
me,
looking
Kenzie.
forward to hearing what these drivers have to say.
Well, congratulations to the top three. I must say, exceptional.
I'm not going to
drive.
mute, but I'm definitely going to be congratulating all three of them. They've done really well.
No, I'll do that as well. But what a drive from Caesar, guys. In my books, he's driver of the day.
Oh yes, I will give it to that.
Absolutely.
And if you look at that,
They
Caesar
got-
is the only one that has no penalties.
Yeah, no. That's again to say why Caesar is also one of the admins, that controls how the league is run. I mean, look at the example he set just today again. And that on Monaco, gentlemen, that's exceptional.
He's going to be the force to reckon with tomorrow. I'm telling you that now. Good evening, Caesar. Well, congratulations, man. Very well done.
Thanks, man.
Good evening,
It was a little bit weird race, but
I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words after that.
After what?
I'm at a loss
After
for
the
words
race?
after that.
Like,
Yeah, that was a crazy climax.
At the last lap, where
Yeah,
when
lit-
Anthony just ran out of fuel.
yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. So now, we've got our podium with us. In third place, Anthony Waddington. Second place, Chris Harley, and in first place, Cesar Lopez. Cesar, massive congratulations on that win. That was a very thrilling climax to the race all round.
Yeah, it was a very good race. Anthony, he's super fast. I already knew that. I already knew he was going to catch me. I tried to defend hard. I did harder than I often do. But I was expecting him running out of fuel. So.
Yeah. And with that, you were the only driver today to have made just the one stop today. How did you manage to get your tyres to last as long as they did?
I ran a lot of low fuel and low ERS. A lot of lean fuel. I went that way. I practice a lot in Monaco. I practice for tomorrow's race in Stream 1. I practice a lot of lives and fuel saving for tomorrow. That's why.
Do you think you went
and low
tonight?
ERS means you don't get much damage in your tires. Okay.
Yeah. Do you feel your win tonight is going to give you that boost to get the win tomorrow?
Well, it should be, but I think I'm more nervous now.
Yeah, you've got a big target on your back there.
Yeah.
Caesar,
Yeah.
Yep.
you'll be fine, mate. It's me who needs to be nervous not to run out of fuel again.
Man, I was so sad because you overtook me in the last lap, man.
Good ball, mate. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But Caesar, again, all the best for tomorrow, and massive congratulations again on your win today.
Thank you, man. I'm going to do my best tomorrow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cesar. Well driven.
Thank you, William. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Chris, great start to your Elite League, managing to get second place. And despite the time penalty we saw you get earlier on in the race, I'm not sure what happened there, but well, so from your perspective, how do you feel the race went for you, Chris? Well, I think that's definitely going to be the big talking point coming out of this race. But still,
Thank God you didn't run out of fuel, man.
but still with the Extreme One League race tomorrow, do you think you'll be making an appearance there, or are we going to be waiting until next week to see you in action in Canada? Well, we hope to see you. Yeah, well, we hope to see you there. So again, all the best for tomorrow if you can make it, and again, big congratulations on your second place.
Congratulations, Boots.
Yeah. Anthony, that was brutal right at the end there. Managing to get the lead only to end up running out of fuel out of the tunnel. What are your thoughts on that?
shocking fuel management for one. You have to see
Go on,
when
that
it's
arshing
over.
yourself there, Warrington.
Nah, to be fair, going into turn 1 on lap 1, I were in last place, so it's Monaco. I knew carnage happened. If I just kept clean, I'd survive. And hopefully challenge front runners like I did at end. Just a shame about my fuel management.
Well, yeah, despite the fuel management, that was a great climax there, with you bearing down on getting past Christopher's second place, and then just hunting Caesar down as the lap started to tick down. That was a thrilling climax all round.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
There's definitely a few moves I've pulled off tonight that I won't be doing tomorrow if I'm behind someone, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We saw all of it, don't you worry.
Definitely not, boys.
So yeah, definitely fuel management will be one of the things you'll definitely be focusing on for the Extreme 1 race tomorrow, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice.
Please do.
No.
We'll wait and see what happens. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow, and commiserations for the climax to the race. But well done on your third place. Another podium for you this evening.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to the other two drivers.
Caesar,
Thanks,
I've got
man.
to say,
Congratulations
I've got to say that the commentator team has given you driver of the day for your tire management. I mean, 57 laps on those medium tires. That is amazing work.
Yeah, I finished with only 65% more or less, something like that. 70.
That
So
is- that
something
is
around
amazing.
67. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you all, man.
Well, there we go. That is. Yeah. So there you go. Well, there we go. That is it for this evening's coverage of our first Talk of the Devil Elite League race. We'll be back at Monaco 5 p.m. UK time tomorrow. It's a busy day for commentary for me tomorrow as well, because not only am I going to be commentating on the Extreme 1 League, but straight afterwards, it's the opening race of the new season for the European Racing League, and you'll have me commentating on that as well. But until tomorrow, guys, thanks very much for watching this evening. It's good night, and thanks for watching.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Congratulations.